Hello all, it's Sharon and
Wait.
in today's video I just want to share some bird-themed activities with you all that we're going to be doing for homeschool. So I kind of broke things down into different categories like, our math, science, language, and I have some more language here. So I'm just going to lay the things out through like different categories, and I'll share the ideas with you all, and hopefully I'll give you some ideas for activities that you could do with the children in your lives. So firstly, for our math lessons, we have these little tiny plastic ducks. These are super tiny, so a potential choking hazard, so just keep that in mind. But those came on, I got them on Temu. And then we have two of Nate's little sand timers here. We have the 30 seconds and the 1 minute. And then we have his division cards here. I believe these ones are from Dollarama. So the activity that we're going to be doing with this is he'll pull a division card and then he'll use the little ducks to solve the problems, basically. Another reason why we have the sand timers is Nate likes to sort things out as fast as he can using like the timer. So you don't need a sand timer. You could use like the timer on your phone or like a little, egg little timer as well. But yeah, he likes to sort things by color and stuff like that. If these were different sizes, you could sort them by size or weight if they weigh different amounts. But yeah, he'll just be, if I'm reading a book or something, he can sort these out if he wants. And then, like I said, he could use them as counters for his division lessons. And then for a thinking skills activity, I have this puzzle here. Now they're in this little zip up pouch. I don't have the original box, but I do have this little piece that came with the puzzle to show you what it's to look like at the end. So it just says all different types of birds, and I believe the puzzle came from Amazon. I think it's 100 pieces. So yeah, just a great little activity that we could do together. And then a trick for if you don't want to purchase a puzzle that has birds, you can simply just print out a picture of a bird, get the children to color it in. You could laminate it if you like, and then you could just cut the picture up into, various pieces depending on the age of the child. So if they're younger children, just cut it into maybe 4 sections and have them match it that way. If it's older children, you can make, more complex cuts and see if they can put it back together. But yeah, you can make your own puzzle. You don't even have to laminate it. You could have them cut it out into different pieces and then have them put it back together by gluing it down to a piece of paper. Another thinking skills activity I have are these animal track cards. These I purchased on Amazon. They have birds and different reptiles and animals. So what it has is it has one card that has the actual animal or bird, and then it has their print. And then it has a little bit of information. So for Nate, it's more of a language activity as well. He'll be sorting these out by looking at the pictures, but he'll actually have to read the, gray heron and then match it to the correct card. But yeah, I just pulled out all the ones that are bird related. And a lot of these birds we have, like where we live. So another activity you could do is, take these cards with you and then on a nature walk and try to find some of these birds. And then I have some language activities. So this one is just names of different birds. And I took out the vowels, so then Nate will write in the missing vowels. So yeah, just a fun little language activity. And I do have little figurines with the spelling of each of these birds' names, so he could use those cards as a reference to, spell these out and fill in the missing vowels. So I have these little bird figurines here. Got those on Temu as well. And then, like I said, I wrote out the bird names. So he's going to label the correct name of the bird to the actual bird, and then he uses this as a reference to figure out what the missing vowels are in that other activity. And then this will be his little reader. This came on a set from Amazon, so it's just eggs in a nest. Super cute little book with a few words on each page. So yeah, we'll be going over this as a little reading activity. And then for his French activities, we're going to be looking at his French-English dictionary here. And he'll be looking up different birds. So like on this page, we have a chick and a goose and a duck. So what I did the first, like when we were doing winter activities, I wrote the word in English and then I mixed them up on this side with the French word. And then he had to look it up in the book and then find the correct matches. And then I got him to draw a picture of what we were talking about. And he did this one here as well. So yeah, that's how we're going to do a little French activity. And then, like I said, he can look up the different birds and then match it to the French spelling of their names. And then he can draw a little cute picture. And for some motor skills activities, I have this, I believe this came from the Melissa and Doug cut and paste book. So he'll just cut out this bird, cut out the like wing part and the tail part there, and then he'll just glue it on the paper. Just, just an extra fun little activity for him to do. And then for some other motor skills, for some gross motor, I have these cards that also came from Temu, and they are different yoga poses, and I pulled out the ones that were bird related. So yeah, we could do this as part of our, morning, get some stretching first thing in the morning before we actually start our homeschool lessons. And then on to some art activities. I just went to the Dollarama, picked up this little birdhouse. So I thought he could paint this and, put it on our little shelf maybe, or you can hang it off our balcony. So yeah, it's just a fun, he often likes to paint items. So yeah, you can buy these little birdhouses at Dollar Tree, Dollarama. You could also just have a child draw their own picture of a birdhouse. You could have them make one out of old pieces of cardboard, and when we were kids, we used to make them out of like milk cartons, cut it and then paint it. So yeah, you can make your own little birdhouse, or you can have a child paint one from a dollar store. Another art activity you could do is you could get different types of bird stickers and have children draw like forests and different trees and flowers and stuff like that, and then have them create their own pictures, or you can have them just draw some birds. But yeah, I have this like feather stickers and a couple of different bird stickers, so I think Nate will have fun creating his own little scenes using these stickers. And then this one could be considered a fine motor activity as well. But these are those eggs that have the rainbow underneath. And you can hang these up as decorations. But then when you scratch them, they reveal like that rainbow pattern underneath. So I think they will have fun. If I'm reading something, he can just spend time scratching these little eggs. And then my mom got him this set from Dollarama. This one comes with these paper eggs that you can hang up and decorate. And they come with the markers and the different stickers. So I think you'll have fun designing these ones as well. And then just a little sensory activity. We have these feathers here. Now, Nate could use these feathers in paint and then try to paint pictures if he would like. But I was thinking for these feathers, he could press them into this stuff here. I just picked this up on Amazon. This is the Crayola Model Magic, so I thought he could press them in and then get the impression of the actual different feathers. And then I have this little tiny fossil that came in a set from Temu. He can press that into this as well and make his own little fossil. Yeah, fun little sensory activity. Plus he's feeling the texture of this, and he's feeling the texture of the different flowers, so that's part of the sensory activity. But yeah, I like, feathers. You can also dip these feathers in paint and then make the prints of the feathers as well as part of an activity for art. But yeah, I just thought I would share that with you as well. So I'm going to move on to some social studies and practical life activities now. So for social studies, we're going to be using the Osborne 1000 Animals. And I love this book because it has animals and different creatures, birds, bugs, insects, reptiles from all over the world. And I thought this would be great to just flip through this book and then talk about the different places and different birds that we can find in those countries or places. So we have like African animals here, so there's different birds here, and we can learn about what types of birds they are and what their names are. Then we have Australian. So yeah, we'll just flip through this book, and some of these birds and we've never seen before, so it'd be cool to learn about them. And then as a further part, then we can learn about we can look them up on like Google or YouTube and then learn more information about them and what they eat and what their habitats are like. So yeah, I thought I love this book because you can do so many different activities with this one. Now for Under Practical Life, I have Feeding Birds. I totally forgot to pick up birdseed when I went to Dollarama to pick up the Easter items for the kids, so I will have to get some birdseed. But I do have peanuts, which we have a lot of blue jays where I lived, and they love peanuts, so we'll be taking these peanuts on our nature walks and just feeding the birds. And there's other birds that like peanuts as well. Now, if you have your own birds in like your family home, then you can get children to assist you in feeding them. They could also help you clean out their cages, clean up any messes they make. You could do that as well as a practical life activity. And then a little fun STEM activity. I thought Nate could have fun putting together this little chicken coop. I got this little set on Temu, so it just makes the little chicken coop, and it's got little tiny chickens and little plastic eggs. So yeah, it's a great little STEM activity. And then for some nature, we're going to actually be doing nature walks. We're going to see if we can find, different birds. We're going to see if we can find nests. We won't be disturbing the nests, but, look for things like signs of birds, like different feathers lying on the ground. And then we have this little plastic set here. So we'll be learning about the life cycle. And then hopefully we will see some nests. And last year we did find a nest with some baby birds in it. So that was pretty cool to see. So hopefully we can find something similar this year. And then also for science and nature, I photocopied these images from a library book. So we have the egg, and then we have the parts of the bird, and then the parts of the feather. And most of it I left intact. I still have the book to reference it, but I wrote the missing words to these. So then Nate will reference the book and then label the missing parts. So I marked on the back, this one's for the egg, this one is for the feather, and then this one is for the parts of the bird. So yeah, that's part of, science and nature, learning about the different parts of the bird and how the egg looks. So I hope I gave you some ideas in case you want to do some bird activities with the children in your life. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day.
Take care and bye for now.